Are you a person who feels that only war veterans or rape victims go through trauma and deal with PTSD? That it doesn't affect you? But are you easily startled or frightened? Always on the guard for danger? Always on the lookout for something bad in people? Do you engage in self-destructive behaviors such as excessive drinking, maybe driving too fast, risking your health and well-being in any other way? Or maybe you are having trouble sleeping, concentrating, have overwhelming guilt or shame. Or maybe you get easily irritated, have anger outbursts or aggressive behaviors. And maybe on the other spectrum, you may be feeling excessively sad, anxious, or depressed. We are going through a lot in our lives. Even when you are seemingly doing all great, right, as compared to others, just living in today's world is traumatizing enough. Just turn on the news for 1 minute and you will have trauma and you will have PTSD. People suffer. They go through a lot of pain, and either we agree with their definition of their pain or not. Let's have compassion for one another. Right or wrong, doesn't matter. Our hearts should go to all the people. Major changes, losses, things are not as perky as we would like them. If only pandemic didn't happen. If only my spouse didn't die. If only I didn't lose a job. If only. If only what? Today's topic is about dealing with trauma and post-trauma in a very unconventional way, psychospiritual way, or transpersonal psychology way. I will give you a different perspective on trauma and post-trauma and give you a few steps on healing it. It is not going to be a lecture in science that you can pull up on the internet, because I am about to address depths of spirituality. Hi, I am Ella Badura, a certified high-performance coach and author of Stay in the Marriage or Let It Go. I am a self-development, psychology, and spirituality geek here to help you create a more joyful new life.com. You saw what I did? joyfulnewlife.com. That's my website. Anyways, you are about to learn the most simple definition of trauma, but the most complex at the same time. And you are going to learn how to heal trauma. Simple ways that are always discounted in the light of modern science and modern life. Consider them, okay? Consider what I'm saying. See what resonates with you. Don't just hear me talk. Check it with your heart. Check it with yourself if what I'm saying is true to you. I am merely a teacher, a messenger, and it is up to you to discern. When you follow these steps, you will begin to heal your traumas and your post-trauma. And you may seem to have it all together in your life and still be traumatized. You will address the trauma for what they are and not for what science tell you they are, and the drugs that they give you to deal with symptoms like insomnia, anger, concentration, depression. You, my darling, will enjoy your life, yourself, and others, and you will have a successful and joyful new life.com. Bust out your journals. Yes, even that single piece of paper that you will probably misplace right after watching it, just to find it a few years down the road and, so that's where I put it. I was looking for it all over the place. So here we are. Get ready, set, and let's go. There is tons of research done on trauma and PTSD and physiology and the neurology and neurobiology and all of that. If you are interested in intellectual, dry data, Go watch other videos. It is magnificent, actually. And if you are like me, you will dig it. It's amazing. And I applaud on the research and methods used to help us deal with traumas. They are all amazing. All those PhDs and therapy, it's needed. But it is not enough. When you have trouble sleeping, concentrating, when you have anger outbursts, or you have self-destructive behaviors, you're not thinking, okay, so here's what is happening with my brain, and this is the area that is releasing those hormones, and I'm going under this on that. No. Trauma and post-trauma is not an intellectual thing. If you don't understand that it is emotional and spiritual thing, you can only talk about it and put a band-aid on it, but you will never heal from the trauma. It is not enough to know it and to address only physiological and psychological parts of trauma and post-trauma. You know, majority of the places like YMCA or other places, I mean everywhere, you see those signs saying body, mind, spirit, don't you? The spirit is always the missing part. It's the missing piece. Not many people address the spirituality of trauma. And I'm not talking religion here. I'm not talking Bible or some other sacred text, because I am going to go deeper today. But before I do, I will give you a definition of trauma. You ready for it? Write it down. Anything that you experienced that lacked love presence. And the definition of post-trauma is not knowing what to trust in anymore. You gotta be kidding me, Ella. Are you kidding? It's too simplistic. You know nothing. Okay, I don't, maybe. War equals lack of love's present. Rape, lack of love's present. Parents fighting in front of children, lack of love's presence. Being bullied at school, lack of love presence. Thinking that you are all alone in the world, lack of love presence. And here's the kicker. Love equals God, because God is love. It cannot go simpler than this. You don't believe in God? That's fine. It's for you too. Because you believe in power of pure love, don't you? Anything that lacks love's presence is traumatic. Let it soak in. Anything that lacks love presence, God's presence, is traumatic. Think of all the experiences in your life that lacked love presence. It was all traumatizing. So, this is the most simplistic and the most complex definition again. Trauma is anything that you experience that lacked love's presence, lacked God's presence. And what is more to it? If I am traumatized, I will bring more trauma to the world. So we all need to heal. And here I give you the solution. First, return to love. Go to God. Go to love. Since trauma is anything that you experience that lacked love's presence, lacked God's presence, it is only logical to go get it. I'm hungry. I know. I will eat something. I'm cold. I will put more clothes on, or maybe cover myself with a blanket. So simple, right? So if I suffer trauma and post-trauma, aka lack of love, lack of God, God's presence, I will go and get that. So how do I do that? Well, practice some form of prayer or meditation every day, especially in the morning before you start your day. God first, love first. Simple enough. Don't just do standard prayers of your culture or your religion. Rather, do your own authentic, real prayer. Instead of Good morning, baby Jesus. Can I have new sneakers? And can you make my coworker lose his job? Wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. All right. You can have an attitude when you pray. God doesn't mind. You don't have to be proper. You don't have to have a priest or rabbi or any other spiritual leader. Just you, your authentic self, with the vocabulary that is comfortable for you. And when you are pissed off at the world or you are resigned because of all the pain that you go through, just show it in your prayer. Fine, God, source of love. You can do that. So give your attitude if you must and say, wow, God, I am about to start a day. And I would like for you to guide me on everything that I'm going to do and say today. Guide me what to do and not to do. What to say and not to say. Guide me. Here I am. And go for the highest terms that you're comfortable with. God, Holy Spirit, which by the way is Divine Mother. Christ, if you're a Christian. Don't pray to your deceased family member to guide your day. Not even your angels or spirit guides. Go for the gusto. Go for the highest power. God is not too busy or does not have too much of bigger problems to deal with. And then, when you are in a situation that makes you clench your fists and you are about to explode, catch yourself and say, God, hey, it's about the time that you step in, okay? What would you have me do or say? I ask myself that question. If you're not comfortable with God, ask yourself this. What would love do here? What would love say here? And believe me, I don't always want to do that. I would rather go primal, right? It was the other day and some lunatic got so close in front of my car that I almost hit him on the road. And I could do all sorts of things, you know. I could honk, I could prolong the honking. You know, it's so annoying. We all got it within at least half my radius that you are mad. Have you heard those kind of honking? Oh, God. Well, you know, with this guy, I could do all sorts of hand mudras, you know. I could do that. Couldn't I? I could do amazing reckless driving and I could cut him too, right? But I asked God to show up. And you know what happened? God is always about healing and never about, gotcha. I know what I'm going to do to you now, you bastard. You're about to pay. No, nothing like that. So, I breathed. I decided to surrender that situation. And I said to myself, not today. I'm not going to react. And so on the next traffic light, we were standing next to each other. And I look at the guy with the wild eyes. And guess what? God showed up. The driver waved at me apologetically. And I waved back. Probably not at the driver. You know who I waved back at? At God, who for a fraction of a moment came through that reckless driver. And if I was not opened, if I did not surrender it, I would have missed that wave. And I could become ugly with vengeance, right? Second step, get to safety as soon as possible. When you are dealing with trauma or post-trauma and you want to heal, get to safety as soon as possible. Physical, psychological, even noise level safety. You must pull yourself out to safety. I am not encouraging you to run from all your problems. I am talking about your sense of personal safety right now. Why? If you are not safe, you will not make any healthy decisions about how to get out of trauma. You must have some breathing room. So leave that room, leave that conversation, leave that place. Get some sanity and safety. God is your ultimate parent. But God depends on you to become your own parent to your inner child. If you cannot learn to protect yourself, love yourself, treat yourself with all the respect a healthy parent would his or her child, then how is God gonna get through to you? Sometimes the safest place is your car. Sometimes a shelter is safer from a mansion. I didn't say it's more posh and comfortable. It is safer. Third way, go after a healthy support systems. Get to your 12-step group, your Al-Anon meetings. Get to church, a synagogue, a temple. Get a counselor, a therapist, a coach, or healthy others in your life. Support systems. Build it. It is not only to get you feeling safe, but to teach you how to be around others who are safe. Watch inspirational and motivational and certain people on TV and YouTube that create a safe space where you can heal. Place that not only talk at you, but create a vibe of non-judgment and safety, okay? Sanity, clarity. Wow, I don't need to be holy to listen to Ella or others like her. I can make mistakes and not be condemned here. I don't need to feel shame or guilt here when I listen to her. You can laugh at me or yourself here. Oh, Ella, you have no idea where I've been and what I've done. But I do. I've been there too. And shame of me. And shame of, not on, you here. No such things exist here. We have all made mistakes. We have all been traumatized. All right? We have all been traumatized. We've all gone through it. We are all in it together. Okay? It's okay. Come listen to my channel when you think that you are a screw up and need tons of healing. Come to listen here when you think that you are holy already. Show up and own that there are parts of us, because we are us, that don't feel holy yet. And you are helping heal us collectively. My job here is to become what I am teaching. My job is to be congruent. And you don't need to tell me when I'm not. I know when I'm not, where I am still lacking, where I still screw up. And I own it. I take responsibility for it. I make fun of myself. It's okay. We are all learning to become healthy and strong together. So when you go through trauma and post-trauma, first, go to God. Then get to safety. And then get a healthy support systems with the S as in plural. An emphasis on healthy. Sometimes your family is not the healthiest support system, or your high school friends that you hang out with either. They might have contributed to your trauma and they may not even be aware of it. They didn't mean it. They made mistakes. Fourth step, fourth way to deal with trauma and post-trauma is the least valued and the least promoted, and that is be of service. You know that the best way out of depression, out of trauma, traumatic events, the best way to feel purpose, joy, to feel fulfilled and valued is to serve others. And don't fool yourself thinking that, oh no, I have to fully heal myself first. I have to get well before I am able to help others. Or better yet, mask on me first and then I can help. Exactly. When you are in the middle of falling apart and you have an anxiety attack, this is not a good place for you to go out and help. By the way, I have a whole series of how to help yourself with anxiety. I have attached links in the description here if you're interested, or if you need to refresh your memory. I bet you, even if you just watched it, you don't remember everything. The self-help videos like mine are best to be watched multiple times until you realize what resonates with you and you integrate it into your life. Otherwise, in goes one ear and out the other, and there's no progress. So, going back to this video, don't go out to help others when you are falling apart or you are in the midst of tragic or traumatic event. But once the event passes, go out to serve. If you can't find anything in your churches, local shelters, soup kitchens, hospital, hospices, libraries, schools, fire, police departments, government agencies, you see how many multiple sources and places I've gave you that you can donate your time? If you feel like you have no license or training to help humans, go to animal shelters. Animals respond even to half an ounce of love towards them. They will not check your diplomas or judge if you have no experience. They will not tell you, you better get yourself holy before you behold me. Animals can feel your pain and you can feel theirs, and you can be there for each other. Have you seen those bumper stickers that say, who rescued whom? I love that. Do you know that what I started doing on my long walks? I take the grocery bag or garbage bag sometimes. I got myself this trash picker-upper and I pick up trash. No one sees it except for people passing by looking what incarceration facility I'm from. No one clocks in my community service hours. I just do it. I do it to clean my town, creeks, grass, or wherever I happen to walk. I have a neighbor who takes photos of homeless people and treats them with dignity like each human being should be treated. He talks to them, smiles at them, acknowledges that they exist, helps them with money for coffee, notices them, connects with them. And I have attached a link in the description to see his private gallery of black and white photos of unhoused people. He calls them Urban Nomads. Great quality of photos. Check them out, okay? They are priceless. Look, you don't have to pick up trash or stop to help homeless. You don't have to do that, but choose something that you could be doing, serving others. And do it not to rescue others or feel superior to them. Do it because they have value. They matter. They are your fellow brothers, sisters, animals, plants. Today, they may fall short, but tomorrow, they can lift you up. We are in this together. At times, we all struggle. We are embarrassed, scared, humiliated. And at times we say, you can't help me, no one can. Yes, we can. Someone can. Be of help. Understand that you are not alone and show them that they are not alone. Even if you have been treated by your traumatic experiences worse than some of the animals, you are ready to help. Your heart will feel safe, even when you don't feel safety before. If you have not felt safety before, you will realize it because you will feel it right there. And my heart goes to you. And believe me, your heart will heal when you become of service to others. It is the best medicine to a wounded soul, so give it a try. Fifth way to heal trauma is feeding your soul. Listen to music, podcasts, YouTube channels that overflow your heart with hope and love and joy. Watch movies that feed your soul. Read books and materials that make you go, oh yeah, wow, I feel hope. Meet with happy friends. Take a walk in nature. Soothe your soul. Find what works for you. Maybe it's bird watching, I don't know. When I was a very young girl, there was a lot of trauma in my life and all around me. And I loved watching what I call karate movies with Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, and others. You think, damn, she was watching violent movies. I didn't see it that way. I saw a hero in each of those movies defending weaker, bringing hope. I wanted that in my life. I wanted a hero to bring me hope that good overcomes evil. And you may say, Ella, I am already into whole spirituality and all that woo-woo stuff, and I read a lot. Well, great. What are you reading? Ooh, Conspiracy Against the Planet. If you are reading materials that make you go, I'd say it's not feeding your soul, okay? You're sitting in the dark of your bed watching your spouse asleep and you're freaking out. My spouse she's a reptilian from a different galaxy. They suck my energy. They are energy vampires. Not my suggestion to read those materials, okay? Or to watch those kind of movies. Switch to something that soothes you, uplifts you, not make you go crazy and suspicious of everyone and everything, okay? My next step, healing the trauma and post-trauma, is journaling what you extracted from it. You do not want to journal? Fine. Maybe you don't even know how to begin, but at least think it through. I know people who stayed in an abusive relationship or abusive work situation 10, 20 additional years after repeated traumas because they either felt or feel that they can't make it on their own, that they are afraid to be single parents, or what's worse, they believe that God is against divorce. That is total nonsense. Trauma is lack of God's presence. So staying in an abusive environment is traumatic. There is no God there. There is no love there. It is every person's spiritual responsibility to protect yourself and your children, your pets, being that depend on you for safekeeping while they are unable to do it by themselves. So what can you extract from your traumatic situations? Run! Or I can do it. I am strong. I have a family who can help me. I am building a healthy support systems. I am worthy. I am child of God. Not today. Even if it is your own parent or child, your blood relative who is abusive, you can say, not today. Nuh-uh, no. Lovingly remove yourself to safety. It is your right and it is your responsibility. Read my book, Stay in the Marriage or Let It Go, to learn how to build, maintain, and assert your personal boundaries. Or read someone else's books or websites or watch their videos. And the final, 7th way to heal from traumas and post-trauma is recognize the power of gratitude. I don't sit down and I don't say, I'm about to pray, so God, so thank you for pandemic and I thank you for all the people that died. No, I am grateful for other things. I'm grateful for going within for a prolonged time and making peace with my past, for getting closer with my family and really spending a quality time with them this time around, because tomorrow may not come to all of us. I think you get the idea, okay? And that's all for today. I know I went overboard. Did you like this video? If you did, click the like and subscribe button. Put a heart in comments. And if you think that it will help anyone that you know who is dealing with trauma or post-trauma, if so, send this video to them by clicking share or copying the link. Maybe your text, maybe your email with this video is what they need right now. And finally, if you need more help, check out my other videos and sign up for a free strategy session for life coaching. And I have put the link in the description. Thank you, and until next time, bye.